Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the tech trees and the skill progression system in Occupy Mars. So to do that, we click on tab to go into our navigation and we're going to click on tech tree. From here, we can see 5 current tabs along the top. There is botany, chemistry, electricity, materials, and mechanics. Chemistry is not open at this time, but it will be in the near future. In order to acquire skills within a tree, you'll see this in the top right. It tells you how many points you have and how many points you need to progress to the next level. It also shows you how many points you currently have in that skill. Now, you need to be able to do tasks relevant to that skill. So for example, in botany, you have to be able to harvest plants, you have to be able to create food, to modify seeds, and all of the stuff that you do in that environment, growing plants passively, as well as moving plants, all adds towards your botany skills. And when you start, you'll have base botany. This will allow you to build a first aid kit, a plant incubator, a small hydroponic shelf, and a water or gas cable. So we've talked about this in a previous video where we looked at the plant incubator and the small hydroponic shelf. Now, in order to progress in this line, we need to look at what's next, and that is the fridge. The fridge will allow you to store products for longer, so they don't go off. If they go funny, you can't eat them unless you turn them into an MRE. So then from here, we can go into seed machines, food processing, slower withering, or a small plant crate. It would depend on where you are. If you're running out of MREs, then go for food processing. But if you're running out of seeds, go for the seed machine. The seed machine is more important because you need this not only for the planting tool, which you do get one to start with, so you don't need the planting tool, but you need the seed modification machine to be able to take your potatoes that you've grown and turn them into seeds. And again, we covered that in a previous video. So seed machine gives you the full cycle, but then obviously you need the food processor because you need to take some of those potatoes and turn it into food that you can eat to survive. From there, after that, you'll want to look at the small plant crate, which will allow you to move plants easily from your well, if you think about that in your plant incubator, you don't want to move one at a time to your hydroponic shelf, so then you want to go for the small plant crate. After that, you'll want to consider slower withering, so that if you do have any initial early problems, in fact, I would possibly go for slower withering before the small plant crate. Because if you're having electrical problems or water problems at the very start of the game, then this will mean that they will decay slower. And also then that opens up faster growth 1, and the faster your plants grow, the quicker you'll be able to get food. Then the small plants crate. Then you'll want to look at lower oxygen. So the idea from this is that it extracts larger amounts of oxygen from the atmosphere. So this will help you to be able to sustain oxygen within your workshop. Then genetic engineering, and then a science bench. When you put down your science bench, you then no longer need, or you can't use the tablet to upgrade. At that point, if you want to upgrade, you'll need to come here to your botany workbench, and this is what it looks like. From here, you can click on this screen, and now you can click on botany. And now, whilst you can still do any of the previous things, anything that's in this dark green, I can also now upgrade. This allows me to get a greenhouse, which gives me a large hydroponic shelf and a plant incubator, and we'll do a video covering this. It then allows to do improved composting, so you can get a composter, which allows things to grow a lot quicker. These two here, additional life support and additional endurance, are just nice perks to have. Then we can get the automatic fertilizer extraction, which is really big. You want this one, because this means that you no longer have to worry about fertilizer. Then we get a small dome. Then we get a medium dome. Then we can get a large dome. Also, we can get faster growth 2, slower withering 2, lower oxygen usage 1, and a big plant crate. And at the moment, that is everything. That is the full tech tree in botany right now. So the other thing you can do at your table is it has a container, so you can hold things in here if you want to. I don't need to at the moment, but just remember, if you do destroy the table, you will lose anything that is in the container. So please make sure that you check the containers before you destroy the table. So that's it for botany. Okay, let's move across to electricity. So from here, we have base electricity, which we talked about at the start. You get your light pole, your cable, and your solar panel. As you put a solar panel down, you'll unlock your transformer. From transformer, we need to go to battery. Now, you're going to struggle at this point, as we did at the start, where you're not going to have enough small circuit boards. You could go out and scavenge them from other bases, or you can just wait until you get another point in electric and then open up your workbench. This will allow you to repair any small circuit boards that you've got. You're going to find yourself struggling at the start when you build this, and we did a whole series, a whole video on power that will teach you about that. Then you're going to want to get your battery pack upgrade, because this initial battery pack upgrade is going to allow you to survive through the night. If you're looking at botany and you're looking at plants, you need to have electric going through the night, and that requires at least one battery pack upgrade. Then you're going to look for a blueprint. If you find that, industrial energy converters, that will unlock the transformer upgrade. At that point, you can bring in more solar panels into the transformer that will then charge everything quicker. So more transformers, more solar panels, more transformers, more batteries. That is going to be good for you. Then you want to go for more efficient panels, because this will allow you to charge at 6 kilowatts per hour, not 5. You're also going to want to work on the top here. So whilst you don't, it doesn't really matter what order you do these in. Rover power extension doesn't matter. You're not going to have these at the start. So these two you can leave for now. But you do need more effective suit battery. You will need suit energy saver. And you also will need to get your small accumulator upgrade. So you'll need blueprints for these as well. The reason you need this, along with your more efficient DIY, is so you can get your medium solar panel. Now, this is a hard one to find. You could spend a lot of time looking for this. But as soon as you have this, I would remove all of your small solar panels and upgrade them to larger solar panels. The reason for this is larger solar panels generate, I think it's 36 kilowatts per hour, whereas a small generates only 5. So it's a lot better to have medium solar panels. After that, you'll get your science bench, and we can't go any further until we visit the table, which is over here. This is your electricity workbench. Same as before, we go into here, and now we can come across and look at the additional information. So here we have industrial energy converters, which allows you to increase the amount of stored energy. We have hanger fast charging. We won't have a hanger yet, so don't need this right now. Antennas, not really that important right now. So the antenna, medium and big, you can leave. Hanger fast charging, you can leave. I would go along the top. I would do this one first. Definitely get more effective suit battery. You'll need to get your small accumulator upgrade. Then you'll want to go industrial energy converters 2. But you'll also want to, at this point, go straight through here and get your more efficient panels and protection from the cold. With this, you can stay out most of the night. You can pretty much stay out all night with this protection from the cold. Battery printing could be good as well, and nothing else is here at the moment. So that's the order you should go in if you're looking for electricity. Next, we have materials. And by the way, in order to get electricity, you'll passively generate that, but also whenever you're charging anything, but also generating. So when you're generating electricity from your solar panels, you'll passively generate points. And also when you are charging, you will generate points as well. So very easy to get points in this, very easy to get stuck. But yeah, you'll want to be keeping an eye on these. Next, we're looking at materials. This is all of your construction, and this comes from grinding. So every time you grind something, you're going to be getting points in your materials. Every time you build something, you're going to be getting points in your materials. Starting off with the basic materials, you have a well and base materials. Then we have our workshop, which allows you to build your workshop, your ramp, and your airlock. From here, we're going to look at the pump. The pump is going to allow you to bring more wells in, and you want to try and get this blueprint to get the well extension. This allows you to add a Sabatier reactor onto the well. We'll do a whole video around this and talk about how we can create oxygen. After this, you'll want to come back and look at the small corridor. Also, you can get a CO2 scrubber. It's not that important because you can use, at the moment, you can use the capsule to be able to do that. So you're going to be sleeping in the capsule until you get a bed. But that's something you're going to be working towards. You don't have a bed at the moment, I don't believe. I think you do, actually. I think you get a bed quite early on, if I remember rightly. I don't recall where you get it, though. I definitely feel like you get a bed quite early on. I don't remember where. But I'm sure you do. I'm sure you get a bed quite early on, and you're able to use that bed in the workshop to sleep in there. You get a much better night's sleep. You recover better. So definitely good to put a bed in there. Just make sure that you can go through the night. Oh, there it is. It's in repair kit. There it is. It's in repair kit. So you might want to get the CO2 scrubber just to get the repair kit. But really what you'll want to do, one of the ones you're going to want to go for is this small corridor. For that, you're then going to want to get the survival capsule. This is going to allow you to go further away from your base because you can build a survival capsule on a well. If you have solar power, you have your well for water, survival capsule. You can then survive the night away from your base. So this gives you the ability to do that. Then you're going to get your living capsules. This is your living room, your bathroom, and your capsule adapter. Now the bathroom allows you to get water within your base, so you no longer need to go to the well to get water. So this is nice. And also the living room has a bed, so you don't need the bed. You don't need the repair kit if you're going to do this. But this is important if you're going to keep crashing your rover, your ATVs, and you need to repair your helmet. So it is important to have this later. But for now, I would definitely go for the living capsules. The storage cabinet right now is no point because this is a fridge and you already have this. The 3D printer, you need a blueprint for this. But also, you can use the one that's inside your capsule. The idea is you want to try and get away from your capsule so you no longer need it. So the idea is that you get your oxygen from your CO2 scrubber. The idea is that you have a 3D printer and that you have water and oxygen and everything that you need as well as your bed. So living capsule, 3D printer, CO2 scrubber. That means you no longer need to go into your survival capsule. You can even pick your entire base up at that point and move it somewhere else if you want to. Set up somewhere completely different. From here, we can look at the freestanding tanks, long corridors, methane tanks, water tanks. A lot of this, you don't need methane at the moment, so I wouldn't even bother with this right now. Do all of the other stuff. But you need this top and bottom one. This top and bottom one are important, and you need both of these to get the freestanding tanks. Once you've got freestanding tanks and long corridors, you get a science bench. And then we can move across to the science bench. So that is going to be, here. This is the science bench, materials workbench. Okay, so now we have our materials workbench. We can now, once we've unlocked the rover, which we need to do from the other tab, we can then get the small crusher. Using a rover with the small crusher means we no longer need to go and drill using our pneumatic drill. We can use the rover, bring it back, and we get a lot more resources. We can also now use those bigger pieces, so we don't have to drill down and waste so much. Also, in the small crusher, we get the sub-components. So now we're getting the sub-components from those resources. We're getting a lot more efficiency and a lot more for that. It also has the ability, if you upgrade to the big crusher, to have a printer built in. So this has the ability just to grind ore, and the big crusher has a printer built in, and you can print things directly from there. So good one to upgrade to. Hangar is really good because then you can put your rover into the hangar to charge it, and at that point you'll want to get your advanced charge in. Advanced connectors is a really good one to have, and you will want to get your social rooms. At the moment, the canteen is effectively a storage room. It's what you'll use it for. You don't really need social rooms, but a canteen definitely is good to have. You want to try and get your main HQ as well, which is currently where I am at the moment doing this video. This allows you to build this. Teleporting vehicles doesn't work at the moment, but that is something, again, you can unlock. This is the HQ building. You can look out. It's a bit blurry at the moment, but this is the room, just so you can see around it. This is the room. with the stairs. It's the circle square stairs. This is the HQ. And you can see I've put all of my work desks up here. Because if I'm going to do any upgrades, I'm going to do them up here. I can also look out over Mars. And normally I can see my base. So finally, we're going to look at the mechanics skill tree. So basic mechanics, which allows you a spectral detector and a jackhammer. Then a blowtorch. Then as we move forward, you're not going to get the ATV at the start, and that's fine. Detector 2, we do want that because that's going to allow us to see what rocks, what resources are in what rocks. Grinder 1, you're going to want to upgrade that. And from Grinder 1, you're going to want to go through to Air Compressor. This is going to allow you, if you're ever caught out in a sandstorm, to compress your... you can use that on your solar panels and clean them. Very important to be able to do that. Also, using the air compressor gives you more mechanic skills. So good as well. You don't need the carbon dioxide bottle. You've already got one. You can refill it inside your survival habitat. So that's something there to consider. From here, you want to get to Jackhammer 2. This is going to allow you to harvest resources quicker earlier in the game. And then you're going to want to come to Grinder 2. So this is really the path that you want to take as quickly as possible. You want to go straight down the middle. After you've got Detector 2, come straight down the middle. Ignore night vision, ignore all-terrain vehicle, air compressor, jackhammer, ignore radio, ignore controller, and get Grinder 2. Once you have Grinder 2, you are then able to go to bases, and no longer are you just grinding boxes. You can grind down solar panels, and you can grind down wells and Sabatier reactors. This means you're going to get all of the resources. So rather than fighting for resources to upgrade your base, you can pretty much get all of the resources you need to upgrade your wells and also to upgrade your solar panels from the Grinder 2. It's quicker, it's faster, and it allows you to do more. So I would highly recommend getting this as quickly as possible. This is the upgrade you want to rush, because there's no point going to a base just grinding a few boxes. It's worthless. And then you're jackhammering your way through the levels. Get to Grinder 2. You're going to get so much more in terms of resources for this. From here, you're going to want to go and get Jackhammer 3. And that is going to really allow you to power through those resources when you're getting your silicon and things like that. From here, you're going to want to come back. Now you're going to want to go through the bottom bench. Again, you don't really need Detector 3. You don't need night vision. So then you're going to get your ATV. But remember, for this, you need the blueprint for the ATV, and you also need the small accumulator upgrade, which you should already have. You get that from your electrical tech tree. From here, I highly recommend at the start, if you're going to use the ATV, put the 2 crates on the back. You can print these. Once you've printed them, put them on the back. 1, it will become more stable and it will tip over less. And 2, it gives you... You can have 2 of these, and they give you 5 additional storage slots. So you can go away and bring some more stuff back. So if you're going to go on a loot run, good to have that. Then you need to come across here. You can ignore the controller for now. You can ignore the flying drone for now. You don't need those. But we're going to come across here to the science bench. Once you're in the science bench, you can then come across here, and hopefully you can unlock the heavy rover. If you get the opportunity to, the heavy rover, you definitely want to do this. The heavy rover is going to allow you to go out and farm resources much quicker. So you'll go out with a jackhammer, you'll get them down to them big pieces, not the small pieces, the big pieces that says ready to pick. Then in the heavy rover, you'll pick them up with the grabber, put them in the tipper, and bring them back. And this is where you really need the grinder, because the grinder gives you the cement. You're going to struggle with cement. And in order to do that, you actually need grinder level 3. So in order to do that, you need blowtorch level 2. So you're going to maybe build the heavy rover, but you're not going to be able to build the materials for the crusher. So I wouldn't worry too much. It's good to have the heavy rover. Definitely get it, because it allows you to live out of your base. It's got oxygen, so you'll be able to live in there. You'll be able to sleep in there. It's got a bed. It's got incredible storage. And so this is a really, really good thing for you to have. I do recommend getting this. And it goes the same speed as the ATV. So as soon as you've got this, get rid of the ATV and just use the heavy rover instead. After this, once you've got to that point, definitely get the blowtorch. Ignore the radio control base. Ignore the jetpack. Ignore the meteor defense at the start, to be honest. you really want to get up to grinder 3. Once you are at grinder 3, you can then destroy entire bases. So at that point, you can just walk around a base and take all of it. If you find any greenhouses or domes, grind them down. They give you an incredible amount of cement, and that is what you are going to need to get your crusher. So I would go for grinder 3, and then I would come back and get your heavy rover, get your crusher, and that is going to allow you, and I'll show you this in another video, but to farm resources much quicker. Then you want to get your drill bit, because then you don't even need the jackhammer anymore. You can just do it all from the rover. The welder you don't need right now. Automatic rock lifting's not that great. You still have to position it. But that's really it. That's all you can get in this base at the moment. So build these out as you mean to go on afterwards. Blowtorch 3, definitely good to have. Means you can build things quicker. And then you can start playing about with the other stuff. But that is going to be the mechanics. So that's it. We've just looked through everything through all of these tech trees and where we currently are. More stuff will be unlocked. There's a lot of stuff coming out. There's an update coming out very soon that should hopefully give you more information. But the blueprints are the hard thing to find. So the way that you find the blueprints is you go to the map and you will scour the map for question marks. That is what you're looking for. So you can go around all of this black area. I've actually got them all, so there's no more to find at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. But you're looking for bases, and on those bases you will see a grey question mark. The grey question mark actually means there is a tablet there. I don't think this is like all of the space where you can see I've kind of visited. I visited all the way up to here. It's crazy, really. Yeah, but there's no question marks, unfortunately. So I was hoping I would be able to show you one, but I've got them all. I don't think there's any more left. So you're looking for question marks. The question marks will show through the black. So right click, track, put an icon on it, go and find it, look around the base, find that tablet. Once you've got that tablet in your inventory, I'll just quickly show you what it looks like. You should know this already, but in case you don't, in case you're struggling, I'll just show you because it's just here. So this is what it looks like, an abandoned tablet. You'll right click and you'll use. Now I can't do it from here, unfortunately, but you will, in your inventory, you will right click and you will click use. Now mine says downloaded data from all available tablets. So I've already kind of done everything here. There's nothing else for me to do. It's not letting me use it. That's because I've got all of the unlocks. But for you, it'll give you a random unlock. So you'll need to go and get all of them. So it will be beneficial for you, especially if you've got the rover, to kind of take that rover out, go around, find as many question marks as you can, unlock all of those skill points so that you can then upgrade. Also, you're going to need to be drilling, grinding, doing botany, as well as charging up your power. And you will start to expand and uncover new things as you go. And that's how you'll progress through the game. So to get to the point where you've unlocked everything at the moment, I was able to do it in 2 days. I did 2 14.5-hour streams. You can see those on Twitch or on YouTube. Talks you through the entire game from start to finish. But that's what you need to do in terms of your blueprints. So good luck.